Welcome to Jung Journal, where we journey together into the deepest layers of the soul. Some people enter our lives like a strange wind. They don't arrive with noise or chaos, but something within us begins to shift. The mind lights up, emotions awaken, and the soul feels touched in a way that's hard to explain. You feel something deep, as if you've known them from another lifetime. But then, they don't stay. Carl Jung believed that some encounters are not meant for love or permanence, but to awaken a part of your soul that has never been touched before. And their departure is not the end, but the beginning of your return to yourself. In today's video, we'll walk this journey with you, from that first spark to the awakening it brings, and yes, through the pain too, so that one day you'll understand. They didn't come to stay. They came to awaken you. 1. Some people don't come to love you. They come to awaken you. Have you ever met someone just once, and yet felt like you've known them forever? It wasn't an ordinary kind of love. It didn't follow logic, didn't make sense. They entered your life like a strange wind, and in a single moment, stirred something deep in your soul you never knew was there. Carl Jung believed some people don't come to stay. They come to awaken something within us, a buried memory, a forgotten feeling, a piece of your soul that was left behind. They arrive with a connection so intense it feels spiritual, as if there's an untold story between you two that began long before this world even existed. You can't name the relationship. You can't place it in a clear definition. But something in you changes after meeting them. It might hurt. It might be beautiful. But it will always be deep. And the paradox is, this relationship isn't meant to be possessed, not to have them, but to see yourself. They are a mirror, and when you look into them, you catch a glimpse of a part of yourself you've never touched. Perhaps your softness, perhaps your longing to live authentically, or maybe the old wounds you've hidden away for years. You start asking questions. Why do I feel this deeply? Why this person? And if you have the courage to follow those questions, they lead you back to yourself, to a heart that's been waiting to be heard. Not everyone stays, but not everyone is meant to stay. Some people pass through just to light a part of you that you forgot, to unlock a door you once shut tight, and then they leave, as if they were never here. But you know, after that moment, you're no longer the same. And maybe that's the deepest kind of love. Not one that's meant to be held, but one that awakens you. 2. You're not just in love with them. You're in love with the unintegrated part of your own soul. Have you ever wondered why some people make your heart tremble? From the very first meeting, they don't say anything extraordinary. You barely know them, and yet, there's something about them you can't look away from. You can't stop thinking about them. Carl Jung called this phenomenon projection. It means you're not really seeing them. You're seeing a piece of your own soul reflected back at you. If you're a man, the soft, intuitive, emotional feminine energy you once abandoned to be strong will return as the image of a woman, what Jung called the anima. If you're a woman, the rational, steady, inner masculine you once denied to be gentle will show up as a man, the animus. These inner images come from childhood, shaped by your parents, by fairy tales, movies, by what you longed for and what you lacked. They are not real people out there, but mirrors of a part of you that never had the chance to live. Then someone shows up, and just happens to match that inner image. You don't fall for them. You fall for the feeling they awaken in you. That feeling is like touching something long forgotten, a nameless sense of wholeness, a soul's echo, as if something once lost has just been found. But this is also where the danger begins. Because now, you're no longer seeing them as a person, but as a symbol, a muse, a soulmate, a destiny. And what happens when they don't behave like the idealized figure in your mind? You're disappointed. You're hurt. You think they've changed, but the truth is, they haven't changed at all. It was the image you loved, not the person. Projection makes you love quickly, deeply, intensely, but it also makes you lost, attached, and eventually heartbroken. Because you're not truly in love with them. You're in love with a forgotten part of yourself. And here's the paradox. Their presence is guiding you, back to you. The question is no longer, how do I keep them? But rather, what part of me is being awakened by this connection? Am I really in love with them, or with the soul fragment I abandoned long ago? Understanding this doesn't make love less beautiful. In fact, it makes it more conscious and less painful. Because now you know. Before you can truly love someone else, you must return and love yourself, fully and completely. 3. Their leaving was not a loss. It was a doorway back to yourself. Maybe you've experienced this. Someone walks into your life, and everything lights up. The connection feels so intense, you're convinced you've found your soul's other half. But then, just as you begin to make sense of it all, they leave, and you break. Their departure doesn't just end a relationship, it shatters something inside you. It feels like a piece of your soul has been torn from your chest. You're no longer the same. Everything feels empty, uncertain. But Carl Jung would say, this is not a loss, it's an opportunity. Because it's in that emptiness that you're finally forced to turn inward. When there's no one left to hold on to, you must face the parts of yourself you had handed over to them. The feeling of being loved, seen, validated. You begin to ask, why do I feel so hollow now? What did I expect from them that I couldn't give to myself? What part of me did I abandon while loving them? And that's when the real journey begins. You realize, all this time, you weren't just in love. You were relying on them to feel whole. You let your soul be reflected through their presence. You handed them your softness, your dreams, your longing, even your pain, and hoped they'd carry it for you. When they left, you thought you lost them. But in truth, you just started to meet yourself again. The pain is not a punishment. It's a call, a whisper from the soul. Come home. Gather the parts you once gave away. Not to harden, but to understand. No one can complete you, but you. It may take time. The tears may still fall when you remember. But one day, you'll be grateful for their leaving. Because without it, you would have never gone this deep into yourself. 4. You're not wrong to call it fate. But fate doesn't always mean forever. When you meet someone and everything feels predestined, that's not just your imagination. Carl Jung believed that some connections go beyond logic, beyond time. They are soul resonances, as if you've known this person before, in another life, or in the deepest layers of your unconscious. You're not wrong to think they were fate, but Jung gently reminds us, fate doesn't always mean forever. Some people enter your life not to walk the entire path with you, but to show you that the path exists. They are signs, turning points, gateways to the journey back to your truest self. A meeting that seems fleeting can change you forever. A glance, a conversation, a single touch, enough to awaken what's been sleeping inside. Enough to reveal that within you lies a land yet unexplored. This is the spark of individuation, the lifelong process of becoming whole, of learning to see the difference between love and projection, desire and truth, ideal and reality. You may have asked, if they meant so much, why didn't they stay? The answer is often simple. Because their role wasn't to stay, it was to awaken. Like the first rain of the season, they didn't linger, but they made the cracked earth come alive again. They came to open a door. Whether you step through it or not, that's the rest of fate, and it's yours to fulfill. And someday, you'll remember them with a soft smile. Not clinging, not aching, just gratitude. Because through them, you began the journey of becoming yourself. 5. Only when you stop searching for them do you begin to find yourself. There are nights you still dream of them, even though in reality, they've long gone. Moments pass, a song, a scent, a glance, and suddenly, you're pulled back to where the memory began. You ask yourself, did I lose the love of my life? Carl Jung would smile gently and say, no, you didn't lose them. You've been given a chance to find yourself. Because sometimes people don't come to stay. They come to awaken. You thought what you needed was to hold on to them. But what you were truly seeking was the part of yourself that was awakened when you loved them. That feeling of being most alive, in their eyes, in that conversation, in their quiet presence. When you stop trying to bring them back, when you stop asking why, when you stop running toward the past, something unexpected happens. You begin returning to yourself. You begin to notice what you lost, the parts of you that were never truly heard, the desires that were never named. The pain is still there, but it's no longer a void. It becomes a mirror, and in it, you no longer see their reflection, but your own, a version of you, once awakened by love. And one day, you won't ask, how do I get back to them? You'll simply whisper, thank you, not for staying, but for helping me return to myself. That is the most sacred gift a connection can leave behind. Painful, but divine. Thank you for listening and walking this journey with Carl Jung Journal. If you've ever met someone who awakened your soul and then left, know this: you're not alone. And perhaps, from that very goodbye, a deeper journey has begun, the journey back to your true self. If this video touched something within you, don't forget to like, share it with someone who might need to hear this, and subscribe to the channel for more content on healing and self-discovery through the lens of Carl Jung. See you in the next video, where together we'll keep exploring the world within.